Okay, this is Jim Moore, Hall of Fame class of 2003. Jim, how did you first get involved with OATA?
Well, I was one of the founding members, the original 28 members of the Hall of Fame, and a number of us, including Dan Razor, who was not um, one of the in attendance when the original 28 formed the OATA, and several others. Um, we had all been discussing over the years previous to that how to bring the group together and to actually form the association. And it just so happened that the ones that could come to Dublin, Ohio, or to Upper Arlington for that original meeting, when we finally said yes and we started putting everything in motion, were in attendance. And it was a process that we really didn't feel like we belonged to the Ohio Association for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Dance. They wanted to add another little section of that and call it sports medicine or athletic training, and I think it was too convoluted at that point, and we just felt like we needed to form an association of our own, and that's how we got started.
How long ago was that?
I think we were talking about it in the late 70s, and I think, if my timing is correct, we were looking at talking about it in 1983 and 1984, and finally got it started in 1984.
And since then, what's the biggest change you've seen in athletic training?
Well, I started back in the late 60s and early 70s, and started my education in 1971 at Kent State, and that was a time when women's athletics was just beginning to come into their own. Title IX, I believe it was, went into effect nationally, and just the volume of work that athletic trainers had to take on with each new women's sports program added a great deal. And then the second thing is the things that I've seen change a great deal in the last 40 years or so, 45 years, is just the volume of technology available to athletic trainers and the medical profession in general, and how that they use all that. And where on my first job I had 4 or 5 file cabinet drawers full of athletic charts, a chart for each athlete. Now much of it's done electronically.
If you could change one thing in athletic training, what would it be?
Change anything? I think if I could change anything, and it's a job in progress for all of us, is to continue to create a profession for everyone that is more widely recognized by the average person. We're finally getting to the point where most of us believe that we're athletic trainers versus trainers. And the more we can point that out to the general population, I think our profession will continue to grow.
Um, any pearls of wisdom for younger members, younger athletic trainers that you have?
Um, you know, I have an opportunity to mentor a lot of the athletic trainers from Wright State that need time with athletic training through their education, and um, more than ever, just continue to try to get as in addition to their coursework, continue to try to practice their skills when they're undergraduates and working on their advanced degrees as well. Get as much practical experience as you can. Master the art of taping. Master the art of emergency medical care for your athletes, and be able to anticipate what a coworker or another athletic trainer's needs may be, so that you can step in and support them as much as possible.
And what's one quote you're known for or a phrase you've repeated throughout your career?
Um, I don't know. I often said, "Do you know what you want to be when you grow up?" And I'm constantly asking myself that question. And then of course, one of the things that I think I'm noted for is carrying my camera around everywhere I go, and you know, being known as the OATA athletic trainer who is also the OATA photographer is something that I'm pretty proud of.
Any favorite memories from being involved in OATA?
My Hall of Fame induction was a truly humbling experience. Just to go through the process of being nominated and then filling out all the paperwork, and then waiting to know whether or not you are going to be inducted that year or not is I want to say just it's a very humbling and honoring experience, and it's probably the one that moved my heart the most. Um, you know, I enjoyed early on, even before the OATA was created, we were trying to figure out how to do this and how to do that, and the teamwork and camaraderie that was developed in a hotel room at a district meeting, or another type of meeting where we just all talked and brainstormed. It was really pretty critical. I think that you know, you can't do anything alone. You have to work as a team of people, and to advance a profession like athletic training. And I think 35 years ago or 30 years ago, that's what it was all about.